Good morning, everyone. Give this another 3 more minutes here. Okay, good morning, everybody. It's 9:30. We can go ahead and get started. Anybody comes in late, that's fine. So before we get started, I'm gonna go ahead and turn my webcam on here just to kind of give the human effect on who you guys are dealing with. So, all right, good morning, everybody. My name is Raymond, and I work for the Village of Royal Palm Beach. So this is our first ePLAN workshop. So before we get started, I wanted to go over some of the housekeeping items here. So let's see here. Your microphones have been muted to reduce background noise during the public workshop. The best way, if anybody has any questions or has any feedback, is to use the little raised hand option. You should see at the bottom within your GoToWebinar, there's like a little raised hand. If you just click on that, you can raise your hand and I will see you. I will announce your name and basically you'll be able to speak. So, quickly here, can everybody hear me? Okay. If you can, raise your hand. Awesome. Great. All right. So, perfect. Welcome, everybody. So, let's get started. So, this is our first ePlan workshop here. So, this workshop is going to provide the general steps in the ePlan review process. It's going to be like a high-level workshop with instructions and basic steps of using ProjectDox. And it looks like we already have someone that has a question here. Jose, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you here. Jose, looks like you are self-muted. Okay, let's see here. Go ahead and make you a panelist here. Jose, you should have the opportunity to speak.
Good morning, Raymond. My apologies, I could get unmuted. Can you
Okay.
hear me okay?
Yep, I can.
Wonderful. So, yeah, I guess so. There's a couple questions. I sent those via the invitation request. The first is the project that we're looking at my house basically is electrical repair. It was a change out of a heater can. So there is actually no drawings associated with the job that it was done. So I was wondering if it's best to send pictures of before and after the repair instead of the drawings. That was one question. In the submittal stage, you have the documentation, but then there's a second phase to that where it's asking for actual drawings in the process. So I just didn't want to be penalized for not adding something to that process and it being.
Okay, that's a very good question. So I guess you looked at the comments and I guess they were asking you for some drawings and stuff like that. So for the project?
Correct. Yeah, correct. Part of the procedure says all the documentations, which I went ahead and prepared and ready to upload, if you will. And then there's a second phase to that, which is asking for drawings. But in my case, I have no specific drawings. I'm not constructing something civil, right? So it was just a matter of a change out of a heater can or FPL to come in and turn the power off, turn the power back on, etc.
Okay, I think, you know what, I did stumble upon your project. I did see some of those comments. Did you put that in the response back to the staff there? There's like a
Uh,
comment.
No, I did not see that. I haven't loaded the documentation pending that and pending my second question.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
all right. There is a feature where you can kind of add your comments and go back and forth with the staff. So I was gonna kind of go over that in the workshop here. So not sure if you're familiar with it.
no, I am not, but I will
Okay.
hope to learn about it.
Okay. So let me go ahead and get started. I'm gonna kind of give you guys a little overview here on kind of how to use this here. So, all right. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and if you can mute yourself, Jose, that'd be great.
Absolutely.
Okay. Does anyone else have any more questions before we get started? Let me see here. I think Lisa has a question. Lisa, looks like you're self-muted. Sent you a request to unmute yourself here, Lisa. Okay, let's just go ahead and make you a presenter here. Lisa, did you have a question you wanted to ask? Okay, guess not. We'll come back to Lisa. So, all right, good morning, everybody. So, like I said, this is our first ePlan workshop here. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen here, and I'm gonna go over some of the basics here. So let's see. And I'm hoping everybody can see my screen. It looks like you can. So with that said, all right, good morning, everybody. So ePlan, or ProjectDox, as you want to call it, is basically our portal system that we use for, pulling a permit or development application or anything like that. So it's very simple. The village does not accept any paper applications. If you want to pull a permit or submit for a planning and zoning application, you have to use Project Docs, and it's very simple. There's several ways to access it. We've got multiple websites. I don't know if you want to take a screenshot of this, but also I'll show you how an easy way to get to it. We've got multiple websites: RoyalPalmBeach.com Project Docs login, Royal Palm Beach e-permit, e-development, e-plan, RoyalPalmBeach.com Project Docs. We've got several ways to access Project Docs. It's simple as just launching the portal, going in, creating your account, and filling all the required information. So the easiest way I like to tell people how to get to it is you go to our website called RoyalPalmBeach.com, you go to departments, and you can go to either building or you can go to either planning and zoning. And right below that, there's a little button here called e-permit for building. You click on that, it's going to bring up this page here, and you simply click on the blue apply now button, and that will bring up the portal page. So fill in all the information and you are signed in to Project Docs. So with that said, I'm going to jump in here as an applicant and kind of show you how it works here. So once you sign into Project Docs, it's very simple. This is myself here. This is all my projects. It shows me all my projects here. I've got a door project. I've got a roof project. So for instance, let's say you want to submit a new project. It's simple as signing into the portal here, which is called OAS. OAS is basically the online application system where you go ahead, you pick the application type, whether it's building or planning and zoning. If it's building, you just put in your property address and you start the application process. To save time, I've got an application that's already been submitted. So before I jump into here, let me just make sure there's no questions, there's no hands raised. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and sign in here. This is the portal. As you can see, I have a roof project here that is in the upload status. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my upload button here. And this is what's called an e-form page. So basically, submits the project. It gives you a generic application number, which is a BLD, which stands for building, because I submitted a building project. It's got my description here, driveway Raymond. And another thing I wanted to show you is there's a little button here called invite others. Let's just say that you are a contractor or you're a homeowner or whatever the case is. You want to invite someone to this project, you can. Simply type in their first name, last name, their email address, hit the invite button, and you can invite as many people to your project as you want. They will, they'll get the email updates. Hey, we're missing the drawings, we're missing signed documents, and it's pretty awesome. So I invite tons of people to my project just to kind of keep me on track. So this is where you would do it at. So it's a little button called invite others, put in all the information, and just as easy, you can remove the person as well. You would just click on the drop down and you can remove that person from your project. So, all right. So the portal is very simple. It literally tells you how to do everything. Steps one, two, three. Step one, select and upload your drawings and supporting documents. Here's a button here for upload drawings. I'm going to click on that and you simply just browse to wherever your drawings are. So I have a little folder here called building, and I'm going to click on here, and here's my different applications, and I'm doing a driveway, and here's my drawings. I'm just going to highlight all my drawings, upload, and start. Next button here, upload documents. Pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to browse for my documents. I'm going to hit the up arrow here, and here's my documents, and here's all my files in order. I'm going to highlight them and start the upload process. So very simple. But before I wanted to jump into that, I kind of wanted to explain something to you. I kind of jumped the gun here. When you sign into the portal, based on the application you submitted, as you can see, I have a driveway here. There's a little URL called the little URL here. Based on your application type, you click on that, it will direct you to the files that you need to submit to the village. So here they are, one, two, three, and it's just that simple. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and close this here and go back into my driveway. And I wanted to explain how Project Docs works. Project Docs is a task-based system. Basically, you receive tasks. If you have a task, that means you have work to do. So here is my task here for upload and submit. As you can see, I've accepted it. I've uploaded my paperwork, and I'm going to go ahead and click on my task, and I will complete it and submit it off to the village. And that's where the next steps are. It goes into what's called the pre-screen process, where the department is reviewing your project. And at any point you want it, you want to see what the status is of your project, you can sign into your project and everything is here in tabs. You have your task tabs, you have your files tabs, you have your status, and the status literally tells you know how long it's been with the city, what the status is. This is pre-screen, and there's one uncompleted task, which meaning it's the pre-screen task. So if I scroll over here to reports, these are all the reports that are available to you. So there's a plan review comments report. If you click on that, that'll show you all of the comments that are part of your project. As of right now, there's no comments. So we're going to get out of that. And let me just go over here and make sure we don't have any questions here. Okay, so All right, so with that said, I'm going to go back here to my home page here and show you some of my different projects here. So we've just submitted my driveway, which is in a pre-screen, and I have an outdoor kitchen that's in review. So review meaning that it's still with the city. At any point, you can go into your project, go to reports, and let's see if there's any current comments. So right now, there is a comment from the structural department that says, hey, I need to remove this. So I'm not sure what they are indicating I need to remove, and something about adding a door. So we're gonna go ahead and I'll show you more details about that. Okay, so let's just go back here. Any questions so far? Okay, all right, we'll keep going. So, does someone have a question? I heard some background noise there. Okay,
Raymond, my apologies.
yes.
I was trying to unmute this. Jose. At the beginning of the project, just from my lessons learned for myself, that property control number is critical because I've been waiting, obviously, days to speak to you guys by email to try to understand what I was doing wrong when I was entering that number, right? So it looks like the process won't allow you to go to the next steps unless you have that format of how to enter the property control number correctly at the beginning of the process. And I'm not
Uh,
sure if anybody has gone through that, but for me at least, it created weeks of delay.
Okay, so you're saying you have not been able to submit an application because you didn't know what the property control number was?
No, actually, I had the property control number, but the formatting as far as the digits and the forming and the dashes is got to be perfect. I work with someone called Stephanie at your department, and she finally guided me through email, and she provided me the reference numbers of how it's supposed to be entered. But
Ye-
before that, I tried every single combination that you can imagine, and it just would not recognize my property.
Yeah, that is correct. You have to have the dashes in. And another thing too, just to let you know, Jose, is you can't use 7.2. 7.2 when you're submitting for the property control number is only used with the county. I know that's information that you probably didn't know, but with our system, you start off with the 4.1. So the easiest way to search for your property, Jose, is by doing it by the address. Because realistically, how many people know what their property control number is? I don't know what mine's is. So what I recommend is searching by the address
Sounds good.
for future reference. So, all right. Okay, so let's go ahead and move down here. So I'm going to show you guys how to respond to comments. So right here, I have a building door application, which I submitted, and it's telling me I have pre-screen corrections. So if I'm going to go to my task here, like I said, your task, if you have any task, you're going to get an email about this. So keep an eye on your emails. Anything that you need to do inside Project Docs, let's just say that your emails are going into spam. At any point, you can sign into the portal, click on your task tab, and see if you have any task. If you have a task, that means you have work to do. So there's a task here for me that says pre-screen corrections, meaning that my project went to the department and they sent it back for corrections. So I'm going to go ahead and click on pre-screen corrections and see what the city is asking me. So it's pretty simple. It tells you step 104. Step 104, I have two unresolved comments. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the box that says review comments. It's that simple. And here are all my comments. If the comment is unresolved, it's going to obviously indicate that unresolved. So here from the city, they are saying I need to sign and seal all of the drawings. And there's another comment, submit a set of current photos of the subject property from all sides. At any point, ladies and gentlemen, you can go back and forth with the city. So let's see here. Okay, we'll just get out of that. You can type in your comments. So I'm gonna just go ahead and type in a comment here. I did upload all of the sign drawings. I'm gonna go to my next tab here. Photos have been uploaded. So I just added my comments. It's that simple. At any point, you can click on this and you can ask them anything you want. Hey, what's the status of my project? Do I have to pay anything? You can ask comments, you can ask questions, and this will just go back and forth. So as you can see, here's my two inquiries. There's a question from the applicant, and I close the window, and you can just go back and forth with them until you get this right. So there's my comments, and at any point, so I'm gonna scroll down here, and it's asking me, hey, is there any new files for your project? So sometimes they require new files. Obviously, as you can see, if I go back to my comments here, they need signed and sealed drawings, and they want photos of the property. So what I'm going to do here is there is a little tab here that says new files. So I'm going to click on here and go to upload drawings. And I'm going to look for my drawings. But before I do that, let me just see what application type this is that I submitted. This is for a door. Okay. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go to my files here, new files. I'm going to go to upload drawings. And this is for a door. I'm going to click here and I'll look for my door application. Here is my door and I'm in the drawings tab. So I'm going to go here and add my new files. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight them. And one thing I wanted to show you is, let's just say you are uploading new files to the city. And hey, Raymond, we need the new set of files. You didn't add the door. You didn't have it signed and sealed. What I wanted to show you guys is, let me close this here. I'm going to go back into my drawings folder very slowly. And I have a folder called modified. So basically, when you are uploading files to the city, you're going back and forth, you want to keep that file name the same exact name, because what it does is the system is going to check and version it. What that means is they're seeing if you actually made a change. So I have a file here called modified, and these are all my new drawings. They're all of the same name. So the system is going to detect to see if I actually made a change. If I didn't make any changes on it, it's not going to upload it. So it's very important that you keep the same exact file name, but make sure that you did make the changes. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that, hit upload, and what that does is it puts a blue on it, meaning that, hey, I've detected these are actually new files. So I'm going to start the upload process, and my files have been uploaded. And I'm going to go ahead and close this here. What I wanted to show you also is I'm going to click on the project number. And if I go to files, it's going to have what's called a V2 on there. V2 meaning that the system has noticed, hey, these are actually new files that Raymond uploaded. So if you click on the little V2 here, what that does is it brings it up in what's called a compare mode. So I'm going to do this here, and the system, as you can see, is actually checking my drawings to see if I made any changes at any point. If you don't see this, that means that you either changed the name or you didn't make a change to your file. As you can see here, it shows you the before, and as you can see, all I did was simply put a red arrow on there to show the system that, hey, this is a new file, and it shows you the before and after. So that's that, all right? So it's very easy. If you don't see a V2 next to your document or drawings, that means that you are uploading the same document and it's not going to upload it. So I'm going to click on V2 for my floor plan. As you can see, here's the before, there's the after, there's a little slash because it's a new file. All right, so that's that. So I'm going to go over here, back to my task, and I'm going to click on my files. So I'm going to go to documents and upload the new documents as well. So let's go over here and go here, do an arrow, and I'm going to do this deliberately. And as you can see, here is a red. I wanted to do this on purpose because it's the same file name. It's saying, hey, these files to P appear to be the same previously files you uploaded, so it's not going to ever upload it. Just literally deletes it. So it's very important. Make an actual change, even if it's a period or if it's something, whatever they're asking you. So that's that. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my task. I'm going to complete it, and I will submit it off to the city. And that is that. It's that easy. Okay. Any questions so far? Okay. Moving on. Okay. So I'm going to go back to my home screen here. So let's see if I have any more further projects. So I've submitted my driveway, which is currently in pre-screen with the city. Okay, looks like we have a question here from somebody, Laura. Hey, good morning, Laura. Did you have a question?
Good. Yes, good morning. I'm sorry. I just want to reiterate what you were saying, if I understood this correctly. When you upload the revised drawing or file, you have to have the exact same name, but then you just do a little something different.
That is correct.
So if I have the same exact name and just do like a little dash REV, that's fine. Because then
Correct.
for me it's like revised. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, that's correct. You're welcome. Okay, any more questions? I don't know if Heidi had a question. I see a question mark there. Okay, moving on. Okay, so, all right, I just submitted my two documents here, my two projects, obviously. One's in pre-screen and one, the outdoor kitchen, is currently in review, and I have my door application, which is in pre-screen. So that is that. So let me scroll down here. And also, I wanted to show you what the review process looks like. So here's my projects. Let me just go back into task. Anybody have a question? Okay, guess not. All right, moving on. So what I'm going to do is I wanted to show you what the review process looks like. So let me just scroll in here and I am going to sign in here. Here's some background noise. Anyone have a question? Or if not, if you can mute yourself, that'd be great. Another thing too I wanted to mention is if you are having any trouble with your files or viewing anything, it's very important that you clear your cache out. I'm not sure if you know how to do that. It's simply just clearing out your internet cookies and browser cache. So if at any point you can't see your files or you're not seeing comments, it's very important that you clear out your browser cache. Okay, so I am signed in as the reviewer here. I wanted to show you what it looks like on their end. So here's the building door application that Raymond has submitted, and the building staff, what they see is, hey, Raymond has sent this back to me. It's a pre-screen review for me as the staff. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at it. What they do is, this is literally what they do. They get their pre-screen review. Hey, okay, Raymond sent his building door back. They click on review comments, and literally what they're doing is they're reading the comments. Raymond has a question. What is the status of my project? You can literally go back and forth with them. It's in review. It's in pre-screen. Okay. Do I have to pay anything? Yes, you do. Okay, so sign and seal all of the drawings. It looks like Raymond stated that he uploaded all the drawings and the photos have been uploaded. So what they do is they're going to click on that and they are going to close this and they literally are going inside of your project verifying if you did upload the new drawing. So literally here's that. They're going to click on V2 and literally what they're doing is they're comparing it. They're bringing it up in compare mode to see if, hey, did Raymond try to pull a fast one? Did he actually make any changes? They're looking at the before and they're looking at the after. So literally this is what they're doing. So they're verifying that. That looks good. He's got the little arrow there. That's a new project. Let's look at his floor plan. And there you go. And let's see the NOA. There's the before, there's the after with the little red arrow. Okay, that looks good. So they literally go into their pre-screen and they simply either resolve this for you or it's either unresolved. And this will just go back and forth with the staff and yourself until you get this right. But at any point, you can ask comments, questions. They'll just literally go back and forth with you. This is resolved. Okay, if I could type. Okay, and they will change that to resolved, and that is resolved. They will close the window, and the pre-screen is complete, and accept it for review. So the next step is once your project passes pre-screen review, I'm going to go ahead into the applicant view here. I'm going to click on my task, and looks like I do not have anything. So let's go back over here and see what the next steps are. Next steps is the plan fees verification. This is where they put the fee on the application and they send it back to you as the applicant to pay your fee. So any questions so far? Nope. Okay, great. So what I wanted to explain to you too is when you get the feedback, you're going to get a task inside of ProjectDox, and the task is called Plan Fees Due. You are going to click on the task that says Plan Fees Due, and it's going to have a little URL inside of it where it takes you to our website to pay. You click on that, you put your project number in, and you simply pay the fees. And it's very important once you pay the fee that you close the task. What a mistake that people do is they'll go ahead, they pay the fee, and they just exit out of the application thinking that it's currently in review, but your project is just kind of stuck in limbo because you didn't go back and close the task. So it's very important that once you get the plan fees due task, you go into ProjectDox, hit all the check boxes. Yes, I've paid my fee, and ProjectDox will actually check to see if you paid the fee. If you just check the box stating that you paid the fee and you didn't do anything, your project will never move along. It literally will check to see if there's a balance due, and if there's a balance due, just kind of stays there. So it's very important just to let you know, pay your fee, close the task, and move on. So once your project is all paid, it goes into what's called the review process, which all of the department reviews are reviewing your project. So right now, here's an electrical review. I'm not an electrical person. I'm just going to go in here and just close this, just kind of move it along. Approved. Okay. And that is that. Any questions so far? Okay. So another thing too I wanted to mention to you is I'm going to go ahead and open up my little documents here. I have some handouts here. So very important. So when you are submitting your application and things like that, I know you're probably wondering, is there a file naming convention? Each department has what's called their own file naming convention. Building has their own, and planning and zoning has their own. Basically, this can be found on our website where I indicated to you, where you go to royalpalmbeach.com, you go to the ePermit screen, and you will see this little document here. Based on the documents that they are asking for, if it's an accessory structure list or if it's an anchor in detail, this is what you are supposed to follow the guideline. This is how you're supposed to name it. Are they enforcing this? Not really, but it all depends on the pre-screen reviewer. So I'm just letting it out there. I don't work in the department, but I'm just letting you know these are the standards that they have indicated that you need to name your drawings accordingly. If it's anchoring detail, you're going to name it like that. And each subset sheet is going to be 001, 002, etc. So this is the guidelines that they have indicated that you should follow. Like I said, is it enforced? Not really, but hey, it all depends on the pre-screen reviewer. Okay, so this is the document according to the building department. And I wanted to show you the one for development, planning and zoning. And this is the planning and zoning standards. So this is what you're supposed to follow. If it's a site plan, this is how you name it accordingly. If it's a landscape plan, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, any questions? Okay, so very important. Another thing too, I wanted to show you is before you even submit your application or anything, let's just say you can go on our website. I'm gonna go to our website right here. I'm gonna go to departments, and there is something called downloadable forms. At any point, I highly recommend this. You go on the website, you go down here, and there are two fields. Am I a contractor or am I a resident? I'm gonna click on I'm a resident. At any point, you can go in here and look at what the documents are the city is requiring. So I'm going to go over here. Hey, I'm building a new pool. So I'm going to click on pool. And is it a new pool? Is it an above ground? Is it an in-ground pool? Is it a new spa? So I'm just going to pick a new spa. Click on here, and at any point, this is going to show you technically what they are requiring that you need to submit for your new spot. All of these here that are highlighted are downloadable. You can simply click on them, download it, fill it out ahead of time, and then upload it into your project. So this is on our website here. You can kind of pre-game and see what you need to submit them. So according to a new SPA, you need to submit all 7 of these documents, including these items below. Is this accurate? I don't know. This is what they have told us, and this is what we put on the website. So if you wanted to pregame, you can kind of do this ahead of time. So these are all the requirements. And also, this is inside of ProjectDox too. Once you have submitted your application type, this is accessible inside of ProjectDox. Any questions so far? Okay, moving on. Okay, so we've talked about the pre-screen, we've talked about uploading, we've talked about comments. I think someone has a question here. Ellen, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute you here. Ellen, you should be able to.
Hi. Hi,
Hey, good morning.
yes, I have a question. Good morning. From the list that you said that we need to upload the documents, usually with other cities, the NOC, we don't upload until the final inspection. So do you know if that's a standard for all permits? We should upload upfront with all the documents?
That is correct. You are correct. That is something I'm going to mention to them. They should kind of put a disclaimer or put that in brackets. That is correct. I'm not a building official. I'm just like the computer guy, but that is correct from what I've heard them tell applicants. You are correct. So that's something I'm going to mention to them right now, actually. I'm writing this down.
Okay.
Yep, you are
So
correct.
we can the NOC we can wait a little bit. It doesn't need to go up front with all the other documents, right?
That's correct. Yeah, it's kind
Okay.
of deceiving how they put that on there as one of the required documents. You are absolutely correct. I'm going to mention that to the building official there. Yep,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Okay, I think Jennifer has a question. You are unmuted, Jennifer.
Hi, good morning. When the city makes comments on like a set of plans, PDFs and stuff, how do you go in and view like the specific comments that they have on there? I know you were gonna touch on it earlier, but we didn't quite get there.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep, I'm going to show you that right now, actually. So good question. Okay, so let me just go ahead and put a project and pre-screen review. I'm going to send it back to the applicant here. Just bear with me here. So here's my outdoor kitchen. I'm just going to send this back to the applicant. Okay, review comments, corrections required, send that back to the applicant. All right, so now I'm going to go inside my applicant view. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to my home screen. I sign in, I'm the applicant, and I click on my task, and here you go. I have what's called a respond and resubmit task. If you see one of these, this is usually not a good sign. Basically, looks like someone has a question here. Okay, let me go over this and then I'll ask the questions. Well, answer the questions. So you sign into ProjectDox and you're also getting emails about this as well. At any point, ladies and gentlemen, check your emails because ProjectDox will email you. And if you're not getting the emails at any point, you can sign into ProjectDox. And like I said, click on your task tab. And if you have a task, that means you have work to do. So I have what's called a respond and resubmit task, meaning that the city has sent some comments to me. I need to respond and resubmit. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my respond and resubmit task, click on it, and I have 2 unresolved comments. So as the applicant, you're going to click on the review comments, and here is the comment. So you're going to look at this from my design plan. They're telling me I need to remove something. So I wanted to show you something here. So if you click on the little highlighted drawing here, this will take you and zoom directly into the comments. So I'm going to do this again here. I'm going to close this here. I'm going to click on my respond and resubmit task. Looks like I might have it open already here. Let me just get out of there, close that, and let's close this. I'm going to do it again. It's a little strange. All right, let's do this a different way here. Okay, so I went inside the project. Here's my respond and resubmit. I'm going to open up review comments. So this is what's called a change mark. What they're doing is when they actually make the comment on the drawing or the document itself. So if you click on this, your review comments, you click on this here, and this will zoom in to the actual comment on the drawing. So they're telling me I need to remove this. So right now, I'm going to blow this up for you guys here a little bit here. I was attempting to put a new elevator in my house. So apparently, I guess for whatever reason, they don't like that. They want me to remove the elevator. So I kind of clearly, what's nice about this, it zooms it in on the file to kind of indicate what they are asking. So here's another one here called door. So I'm going to click on that and it says, hey, I need to add a door. So you can put a response back to the city. I will add a door. And I'm going to save my response. And if I go to next, and it goes just back and forth to the next comment. So they want me to remove the elevator. I'm going to put a response. I will remove the elevator. Okay, save the response. That is one way. This is one way to look at the comment if they mark up the actual drawing or the document. This is not to let you know they will do this on the drawing and they will do this on the documents as well. So let's just say you didn't sign your document. They will zoom in, they will put a circle on this. Hey, Raymond, you didn't sign it, you didn't notarize it. This is one way to look at it. Another way to look at your comments is at any point, like I stated, you can sign into Project Docs, click on your project number, and there's a tab here called Reports. This is very nice. If you click on this here, you click on Review Comments. This will show you all of the comments combined, whether it's a pre-screen review comment or whether it's a comment from the electrical department, the structural department, the planning department. It puts all your comments in together. Hey, structural department, it tells you what department it's from. Hey, I need to remove this. What's downside about this is, yes, they're telling me I need to remove this. You have no idea what they're talking about. So that's where I was showing you to click on the review comments box and click on the link of your file, and that'll zoom in, indicating exactly what you need to remove. This is nice as a very quick, hey, let me look at, see what comments are going on. So that's that. That's one way. Another thing I wanted to show you, I know I'm going really fast here, that's two ways I've showed you. You can look at your comments via the reports, or you can click on the task and bring up the review comments box. Another thing you should be aware of is if you're a planner or if you're a structural guy or whatever and you want more detail, you also have the ability to go inside of the document. So if you click on your Files tab, there's this little exclamation point here. This is called a markup. So basically, markup meaning that they marked up the file. You can click on that. You do view. There's some people that want more detail. You can click on that, their elevator, and this will bring it up like that, and you can download this as well. So this is this here, and another nice thing too about this is you can kind of hover over this little box and it will tell you, hey, I need to remove this. Also, the comment is there on the right as well. And you can also export this as well. Export this, send it to your staff, your electrical guy, your structural guy, whatever the case is. All right, so let me see, any questions here? Jennifer, did you have a question? Did that answer? Or Ellen? Okay. See your hands raised. I don't know, Ellen or Jennifer, if you had any questions about what I just went over. You're self-muted. Okay. I will move on then. Okay, those are the three ways to view your comments. You can go into reports by clicking on review comments. Okay, let me go back in here. Looks like we have a question. Oh, someone's muted here. My apologies. Can you hear me now, Jennifer?
Yes, sorry. I have a follow-up to that. When a task is deemed completed, can you go back in and see the change marks?
Okay, that's a very good question, Jennifer. No, you cannot. Once you have the project, once it's in respond and resubmit, that is your opportunity to go in there, look at the change marks and download it. So once it's out of respond and resubmit, once you've closed it and send it back to the city, you cannot look at the change marks via this view right here, what I'm indicating here. The reason is the city doesn't want to be bombarded with applicants kind of bugging them, asking, hey, what's going on? So that's your opportunity. Once you get the respond and resubmit, that's your opportunity to download it. If you want the markups downloaded, or respond back to them, this view is gone once you send it back. So does that answer your question?
I think so. I mean, mine is like kind of a little different. It's a preliminary plat that's in there, and there's
Okay,
been a lot of back and forth with several staff members, and they deemed it as complete and like accepted because it's just preliminary at this point. But I did receive some additional comments, and I cannot click on anything to view what they're referring to.
got it. Okay, do you mind if we look at your project here?
Sure.
Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I am inside of, the admin view, which I can look at all the projects here. I'm going to click on projects. Would you mind giving me your project number?
It's Tuttle Royale. I don't know what the number is offhand.
Gotcha. Okay, what I can do is just for your information, everybody on the call as well, at any point, let's just say you've got several hundred projects, you can type in your description in here if it's Tuttle or whatever, if you don't know the name, and it will bring up all of the projects that has a name associated with Tuttle. So I'm going to just go ahead and change my view here to 75, and there's a lot of Tuttle projects in here.
Yeah,
Holy
it's
cow.
just past it. It's 22-105.
22-105. Okay, so what I'm going to do is scroll back up here. Okay, so Total Royal 5. Okay, just to let you know, the status here says approved. So you're saying that this is the reason why you can't look at the comments. It's for some reason it's saying the project is completed. It's completed, but at any point you can go in and look at reports, look at the review comments. You can look at all the comments. You just won't have the ability to look at the change marks. So this
That's a
is your project.
problem because I don't know what they're referring to on the latest comments that were received.
Okay, but it looks like this project is completed though.
It's not because I mean it'll go from preliminary to final plat, like so it kind
Oh,
of rolls into that.
got it. Okay, so you have, okay, so for you, the value of you still need to look at the change marks, you're saying.
Yes, please.
Okay, so just to let you know, yes, because I'm an admin, as you can see here, I can look at the change marks. So you're still wanting these views. So I'll tell you what's your name?
Jennifer Mallon.
Jennifer. Okay, yeah. Just, I'm gonna say this on the call. Yes, we could give you access and you could still view this, even though technically it says it's completed. That's why you can't see the change mark. So if you were to send me an email or give me a call, we can definitely, or I can turn that on for you and you can see this. So, all right,
Great. I appreciate it. Thank you.
no problem. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do it right now just to save you the trouble. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
So, yeah, no problem. And I'll just go to applicant. View change marks, boom, do, you are good to go. Okay,
Perfect. Thank you.
you're welcome. All right, let's see if we have any more questions here. Okay, you, all right, I think we are good with that. So, looks like we still have one hand raised. Jennifer, I don't know if you want to lower your hand if you don't have any more questions. Okay, great, thank you. All right, so those are the three ways you can look at your comments. So I'm gonna go back here to my applicant view. Like I stated, you can click on the reports, you can click on your task and open up your respond and resubmit and look at your comments that way. Okay. And another thing too, as I wanted to show you is you can export your comments to Excel as well. Let's just say for whatever reason, you just don't like this box. Hey, I don't want to go back and forth. I don't want to use this little box to type in my comments back and forth with them. There is a little button here. I'm going to maximize this called export to Excel. You can export your comments to Excel if you love Excel for whatever reason. You want to just type your comments in Excel. I'm going to go ahead and launch this here. Hopefully I have Excel installed on this computer here. And I'm going to go ahead and edit this here. ProjectDox will download your comments in Excel, which is really nice. It kind of tells you, hey, this is from the structural department. It's got the markup. And what's nice is you can click on this little open view here, and this will open up the plan in the markup view, which is really nice. And it will kind of zoom in. Let me get rid of that. And it will zoom in to that comment that they marked up. So if you highlight this here, let me go ahead and hover over this here. Oops, it's not cooperating. You hover over that just like that, and it tells you, hey, structural department, I need to remove this. This is really cool. You can download this to your computer if you want that view, Lauren or Jennifer, or whoever. You can download this to Excel, and this will put that up at the markup just like that. All right. So that is that. You can literally type in your comments and re-upload this back to the city. So I'm going to go ahead and type my comment here. I did remove the elevator twice. Okay, I will add the door. I added 2 doors. Hit save. I'm going to close this here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do import Excel comments. So I'm going to browse here and let's see, where did I download this to? There's my Excel comment. And ProjectDox will literally import all your responses, which is really cool. So you have multiple ways on responding back to comments. If you want to do it in Excel, if you want to click on the review comments box, type your comments here, go back and forth. So this is just a little avenue for you here, different things here. So here's your comments, you responded, and here's the box here if you have new files that need to be uploaded or not. If you don't have any new files you need to upload, just scroll down. Like I said, check all of the boxes and submit. Once you submit this, there's no going back. It sends it off to the city. I'm going to hit submit, and they will get an email. Hey, Raymond sent this back to me. And what it's called is resubmit received. And they are literally going in and checking your work to see if you did add the new elevator, did I remove the door, etc. And they're just going to either mark this as resolved or unresolved, and it just goes back and forth with you and the applicant in the city until you get this right. Okay, so no questions. Okay, so we covered over file naming conventions, looking at comments, how to pay your fees. Another thing I wanted to show you is at any point you can go onto our website here, and let me go ahead and go to our website and go to departments. Depending on the application that you submitted, you can go into what's called fees, view permit fees and information. If you know your project number, you can go ahead and enter that in and see if you have any fees on there. And this is where you would pay your fees. Obviously, this is an older project here. I do not have any fees on here, but it's that simple. Just go to our website here. Let's just click here. We're Palm Beach. If it's a development application, you're going to go under here, look up project status, and type in your project number, the first 2 digits and the last 4 digits to pay your fees. Okay? Any questions or anything? Doesn't appear so. Okay. That is everything I wanted to cover here. I mean, I went over the comments, how to pay, what is OAS. I mean, that's kind of all I have to go over here. If there's any more questions, let's see. Jennifer, did you have a question? Okay. All right. That kind of concludes our workshop here, everybody. Thank you for attending. I'll give it another 2 minutes here, and be safe, everyone, and have a nice rest of your day. Okay. All right. Goodbye, everybody.